That's the intro. That's the intro. Just me going, fuck. We're talking.
Oh my gosh, we're both obsessed with Sam and fucking Max right now.
Why is it so late? I thought it was like 9. It's not 9.
No, it's like 11 o'clock. Are you okay?
Please make the screen shake for that.
I don't know if I can do that. I'm really bad at editing. All the text looks terrible. Whenever there needs to be text in our videos, it just looks like shit.
BronyCon 2008.
What? okay, we're talking about Sam and freaking Max.
Okay, my biggest thing that me and Elliot typically get on the subject of Sam and Max is, so if you don't know, Sam and Max was created by
Steve Purcell.
Steve Purcell. And he has had these characters since they were kids. They were really originally his brother's characters, but he would find the comics lying around and finish them and make them really stupid to piss off his little brother. Eventually, his brother gave the characters to him for his birthday. So I believe that a lot of the storyline has already been made before, like, the first game came out. I believe he had written, like, the story, like we do with ours.
Before we get, like, super into it, can I, for a second, like, concisely explain, like, what Sam and Max actually is?
I just started on topic, man. I just went,
Okay, in order to not severely limit our audience for this video, I'm gonna actually explain what Sam and Max is.
Okay, basically, Sam and Max are Max is a telekinesis, psychopathic rabbit thingy. He's referred to as a
lagomorph.
That fucking thing. And then
just say a rabbity thing. That's what everyone calls him.
Thing. And then Sam is a 6 foot tall hound dog, specifically an Irish wolfhound. But he is a hound dog, which means the more older he gets, the more saggy his face gets, which makes me happy because I like saggy dogs. That sounds so weird. That sounds so bad. No, okay, I want to have...
Wait, that is actually one of the things, in the episode, Something of the Gods, I forgot the word, but that's, like, one of the ways they show Sam's age as Snoot just gets really fucking saggy.
I know.
Sounds so wrong.
So much. No, but back to what I was saying. Elliot thinks that, like, a lot of the things line up, and I have to agree that a lot of the things in the show and...
Wait, so you didn't even explain what they do.
Oh, they're freelance police!
Oh my gosh. Okay, so basically Sam and Max are freelance police, which is exactly what it sounds like on the tin. They're police officers who aren't actually a part of, like, the police force, so no pigs here, yay! And, they...
All dogs go to heaven, all cops go to hell. Where does he go? The fucking gulag?
And then, so basically, they get, they're just crazy fucking dudes who fight crime and get all their missions from a faceless commissioner that call them on any phone in the world, and they fight to the death over the phone, and Sam wins every time, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that's basically what the deal is.
And they love the commissioner because they both have said I love you multiple times to the commissioner.
They have?
That makes me happy.
Wait, when?
They do. I think Sam does it, Sam does it in the VR game, Max does it in the animated series, and I think he also does it in Hell when they go to Hell.
I love that. Speaking of loving things, guess what? This is queer as fuck. That's why.
They're married. Okay, long story short, Elliot steals every single personality trait from me, and I got really into Sam and Max, and so of course he had to.
I didn't steal My Little Pony. I don't want to be a fucking brony.
You didn't steal my furriness. You didn't steal me being a furry, so that's a plus.
I did not. Nope.
Nope. No, okay, so I think, a big thing that me and Elliot were talking about is how a lot of the stuff with the show, the games, and, the games just line up.
Yeah, you were going to say the comics, right? This isn't really a part of that.
There's stuff that hints to the comics in the games, too.
Ooh, okay, we'll have to get into that later.
Yes, but, basically, a lot of the things that hint to each other happen way after the first hint comes, such as, like, Max's brain getting taken.
Oh, this is gonna have spoilers, fucking lore. So
sorry, right off the bat, bonk. No, but such as it references Sam's brain getting taken in the animated series, and then it doesn't happen for, like, years after.
We're gonna have such a fucking hard time recording. We're gonna have such a fucking hard time, like, talking about things in this video, because we have to remember that, like, we can go a million miles a minute, and, like, we can go a million fucking miles a minute talking about this because we both are on the same page and know everything about this, but they probably don't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So because of that, because there's references to things that happen later in the series...
For example, we're assuming that they already know what the timeline of the media is, and they probably don't.
I know the dates by memory and everything. I love this fucking thing. So basically, the first thing came out in. I know that the first game came out in 1997, which means the very.
No, you're getting it wrong. The first game was the pixel game called Hit the Road that came out in 1993. And then the animated series, Sam and Max Freelance Police, which was a 90s cartoon geared towards kids, came out in 1997.
So that's a thing. And then after that, it goes in order of Sam and Max Save the World, and then Sam and Max Time and Space or some shit beyond time and space.
We're talking about video games, by the way. After the 90s show only got one season. There was basically a very big long lag in Sam and Max media until Telltale Games came up with three episodic games, starting with
Save the World, Sam and Max Save the World, and then it goes Sam and Max Beyond Time and Space, and then Sam and Max
The Devil's Playhouse. The Devil's Playhouse is usually considered the best one for good reason. It's their
pussy.
It's their big send off, and everything is pretty much elevated.
A fucking coward. No, the best game has to be Hit the Road. It's so...
You never even played Hit the Road. Why?
I've seen people play Hit the Road.
Why Hit the Road? I never hear you talk about it.
It's so fucking funny. That's why.
True.
It's peak comedy. It's literally... Sam and Max,
That's true.
The
If you're
Devil's
looking for...
Playhouse is the best for people who just want hurt and comfort. But
You're not wrong. No.
But if you're in this series just for, like, the shit...
Wait, hold on. That's why I'm confused, because you're into hurt comfort. So shouldn't you be all over the Devil's Playhouse as opposed
I'm not, surprisingly.
Really?
I'm not. I think it's because my favorite line is someone's an irritable bunny, and it comes from the
Someone's an irritable bunny
today. And then he fucking dunks him, which is beautiful and funny as hell. So no, I'm afraid I have to say the answer is no. My favorite game has to be Hit the Road.
Wow, I never knew this about you.
I may be obsessed with hurt and comfort, but I'm afraid that my obsession does only go so far.
Well, okay, the reason why we made this video is because we accidentally started gushing about this fan theory that we both share, where basically, okay, so we told you guys that the show came out in the 90s and the games came out, like, way after. However, there's actually a lot of evidence where you can read the timeline of the whole story. So basically, canonically, I'm pretty sure these are all, like, the different mediums are supposed to kind of take place in their separate world, and it's just kind of a reset. But you can actually see them as one big storyline. But not only can you see them as one big storyline, you can actually easily see the TV show taking place after the games. Yeah, and there's like tons of references and stuff
evidence and references. It's beautiful, such as...
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, continue.
So basically at the end of in order to, like, understand what we're about to just go off about, you need to understand one crucial thing. Basically, at the end of the huge fucking spoiler, turn away now if you want to.
British man and head angry. Angry.
So at the end, so basically, number one thing you really, really need to know is that at the end of the Devil's Playhouse, Max turns into a big eldritch
It's an eldritch god.
So the whole time during the Devil's Playhouse, something is going wrong with Max. He's, like, gaining psychic powers and all that jazz, and all of this culminates in him turning into a giant eldritch god that Sam and the rest of the cast have to kill for the good of humanity, basically. So after this happens, Sam is really fucking upset and distraught, and he's like, I lost my partner. This is where the whole hurt comfort thing comes from. And then Max shows up, and then past Max shows up at a time machine and says, hey, let's... basically it, like, returns back to the status quo in that way, but they mention that Max had to kill his Sam in that universe, just like Sam had to kill his Max.
Because though the Sam in the new Max's universe had electric powers, and that's what made him turn into an elder god, and so the psychic powers are very explained because Max has this very special brain, like his teachers have said, quoting Sam. Anyway, so Max has a very special brain, but there's also a lot of trouble that comes with it, such as one of my very favorite characters, who's extremely sassy, and I love her, is Sam Mac. And she is a pharaoh, and no one can fucking be as powerful as this bitch. No one can.
I love that. Oh, yeah, and the pharaoh, that's the other really, really important thing. The pharaoh about what stuff references in the show. The pharaoh character happens because basically there's a part in the Devil's Playhouse where Max's brain is stolen. Like, I'll put a picture on screen, literally his, like, head is fucking hinged open, and Sam just goes fucking ape shit. Like, it's basically the noir part of the game. And so, yeah, Max getting his brain stolen is really important for, like, this big fan theory we have.
Hey, Max, come ground me. You're pushing 40 in dog years. You're not a very good detective, and it looks like you've put on weight. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I think it's because it was around the same time he got his brain stolen. It was on the same episode, I think.
You know what? We don't need to explain anything. We're just going to quote random Sam and Max shit, and they're just going to have to deal with it.
I sure hope I don't have to bend over provocative.
I really wish they could see you just wiggling your butt. No. I was going to say I really wish they could see you wiggling your butt right now, but now I really don't.
Aw, you're just flustered. You literally are. Are you okay? Or do you feel fever?
I'm not. I'm not.
You really are.
Stop. I get flustered whenever people say that I'm flustered, so then now it just makes people...
before.
No, I wasn't.
You're so cute.
You weren't doing it. You weren't doing anything provocative. You were
I know,
shaking.
it was really funny.
That was the worst butt shaking I've ever seen in my life. No offense. You were shaking.
That's the goal, Daddy.
You look like you were a 10-year-old trying to twerk.
That was the goal, Papa Bear. Doggy Daddy. This is Max.
Can we talk about Sam and Max now?
Sam and Mac. Yeah, no. I'm stroking out.
Okay, here.
No,
Can I have the floor for a second because you're stroking out?
No, I remembered what I was gonna say, but yes, you may have the floor anyway. Okay.
Oh, I was just gonna launch into the theory.
Oh, okay. So the theory goes, because there's a scene in the animated series where Sam runs over to Max and is like, "They stole your brain," and just starts beating the shit out of these fucking
And this comes right the fuck out. This comes like out of nowhere. Literally, he has like extremely
Nowhere.
little reason to believe this, and he just jumps to that conclusion. Also, Sam is like Sam. Okay, another thing you need to know about their dynamic. They're both pretty insane in terms of like just cartoon character watching and stuff like that, but Sam is more of the straight. Sam, for all intents and purposes, is more of the straight man. It is actually kind of a rare occurrence that he just like freaks out like this.
Yes, so he just goes bad shit on these fucking guinea pigs, and his reasoning is because there was something that looked like a scar, which looked like they stole his brain, and so he starts freaking out. And Max calms him down, of course.
And it's really sweet. He's like, "Shit's okay. It's okay. I'm fine." And we'll talk about Max is so much like sweeter in the show, and that actually ties into our theory as well. But we'll get into that later.
Yes, that does tie into our theory. Game theory. Thanks for watching. No, but so basically, another thing is in the games. Sam is not Sam.
Wait. I think we didn't finish that thought.
I didn't.
No. Okay.
I did in my head, but not out loud.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so basically there's a part in the third episode of the show where Sam like freaks the fuck out because accusing the guinea pigs of stealing Max's brain, even though this is like absurdly outlandish. And Max goes and calms him down as if like he understands this is like a regular thing to think. And so we think that would make sense if this took place after the games when he had already experienced Max's brain being stolen. It was really fucking traumatic.
Yes, and also on top of that, Max being actually able to show human emotion also plays into the fact that it would be after the Devil's Playhouse because throughout the whole entire games, Max is very emotionally constipated per se, but basically it's it's confirmed that he does have emotions. They're just suppressed in this fucking weird-ass, gray-ass British guy.
Yeah, no, other huge spoiler. Other huge spoilers. So there's a narrator in The Devil's Playhouse that's just this weird British guy in, like, hammer space or whatever. That's not the right word. In, like, a void or whatever. And at the end of the game, it's revealed that this is actually, like, this guy is actually just Max's brain, but he's also, like, really anti-Max and just, like, kind of wants him to die. So basically, Max's fucking issues.
Depression?
A lot of repressed feelings. And also, Max canonically takes some sort of prescription. There's a line in the games where Sam says, "Remind me to fill your prescription." And yes, it's shown to be like a throwaway line. However, this is a comedy series, so essentially any piece of canon is quote unquote just for comedy. So you kind of have to take moments like these.
Mm-hmm. So basically, with the big angry British man inside of Max's head. A big part of Max, like, having emotion is when Sybil, if you don't know who Sybil is, she is a psycho, she's
in everything.
She's in everything,
Yeah, no.
But her main thing is psychotherapy. And she basically helps Sam and Max with this adventure, except Max is currently an elder god, and so it's mostly helping Sam while he's having, like, an existential crisis, which I gotta say, nice. So, Sybil ends up going into labor because she's 13 months pregnant. Yes, she's 13 months pregnant.
I fucking love that.
Issue.
The
lots.
father's a giant fucking Abe Lincoln
Lincoln
statue head.
Yeah. So, basically, after that, she goes into labor, and Max's brain is just like, save Sybil, save Sybil. And with that, his super ego is like, oh, fuck, he is worth saving. He actually has emotions and is, like, can self-sacrifice.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I'll save him if you guys get the fuck out of here. And so they get the fuck out of here, and he does not save him. But
implications? Let's not talk about that.
But another thing is there's a throwaway line where Max says that he would take Sam with him, and it would be very easy for him to take Sam with him in this scenario, like, if he dies.
This is told as a joke, by the way. It's
Yeah.
basically just like, if I'm dying, I'm taking you with me. And this is, like, before shit hits the fan whatsoever.
Yeah, it's at Stinky's Diner. And after that, basically, he does not take Sam with him. And so Sam has, like, an existential crisis. And Max cannot be cloned because the only DNA they have is corrupted. So there's that. And so because of that, we think that this series, the animated series, takes place after The Devil's Playhouse because Max is more gentle and actually shows human emotion in the animated series and has a more domesticated lifestyle and is completely, like, I don't know.
They're just more together, I guess.
They are.
The point, okay, also, the reason why we think this makes sense for the theory is because, remember how I said in the very beginning of the video that Max, that what came with this is that Max had to kill Sam in his world. So that event may have actually changed him and, like, made him less constipated, basically.
Basically, that's what we think. And so because of that, we think that the animated series comes after. Also because there's a lot of references to the games and what happens in the games. No, basically, so there's that. And Elliot thinks this is all just coincidence, but I don't. I think that Stephen Perel, because he had these characters for such a long time, in his youth, he, like, made this big-ass storyline. Because I did that. I have a giant storyline written.
I do also think this is just coincidence because Steve Purcell is pretty open about being very, like, not loose with the canon, but, like, he's clearly one of those creators that is more, like, yeah, sure, like, I don't know, like, he seems like the kind of person that values more, like, the fluidity of canon rather than, like, a big mega story.
See, that's fair and all, but maybe somewhere along the way he did originally have a big mega story and just realized he wouldn't be able to have his big mega story with the media he has.
That's true. Maybe, you know what, okay, if you want my true thoughts on it, I just appreciate that there is a mega story here to be had, whether it was intentional or not.
Exactly. But I think it was intentional. I think Stephen Perel, because he had these characters for such a long time, he wrote them a big mega story.
Also, sorry, kind of off topic now, we already moved on, but I totally forgot there is actually another reference to Max's brain being stolen in the past in the show. There's a scene where one of the villains of the episode just just fucking twists Max's head open like a jar and like exposes his brain and Max is like, hey, I didn't, and Max is basically like, hey, I didn't know my head had like easy access or something, as if there something happened to like make his head easily be able to pop open like that.
Yeah. So that's why welcome to Game Theory. Thanks for watching.
Also, another piece of evidence for the show taking place after the games is that, yes, this was meant to just be like a joke, but there's literally a recap at the very first episode of the show, which it's the very first fucking episode of the show, so what the fuck would they be recapping? And yes, it's just like a bunch of random clips, also showing that they're fucking married. But yeah, that is... Oh, their marriage! Holy crud! Remember how we talked about that?
Oh my god,
yes!
So in the last game, there's references to a proposal and stuff like that, but not marriage. But in the animated series, there's reference to marriage.
Yes, and proposals come before marriages. Also, for a bit of backstory, Max is canonically gay. You can look it up, resolve that however you want, find whatever proof you need, but yes, he is actually canonically gay.
It's heavily suggested that Sam is canonically bi.
Yes. Sam doesn't really have a canon sexuality, but it's very heavily implied, and Max is even more heavily implied.
Susan! How was your date with Susan? I don't want to talk about it.
Also, they're very heavily implied to be married, and by very heavily implied, I mean we literally saw it on screen, so suck my ass.
Also, didn't Steve Carell confirm that they're married? He also confirmed that they have a relationship that goes beyond labels.
Yeah, no, he confirmed that Max was gay by, so basically he confirmed that Max was gay, but he didn't exactly confirm they were married. So basically what happened is that in, like, his wedding, like, his actual wedding in real life, he had Sam and Max as his cake toppers, and he comments on this by saying, hey, well, at least we finally know which way Max swings. You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that's how
You didn't? No! Ezzy, what the fuck? That's, like, the thing that, like, finally confirmed it.
I'm literally...
Before that point, all we had to go off of was Sam's running joke of, Max, you don't even like girls.
No, also, okay, to be fair, Max being gay was confirmed, like, I think before the first Telltale game even came out.
Yeah, but that was, like, the only, like, yeah, because he got married before the fucking Telltale games came out. Yeah, no.
So... forgive me, but people mostly just focus on him being canonically gay. Also, it is like confirmed that they're married.
It's confirmed in the fact that we see it on fucking screen, but so far Steve Purcell hasn't like said that they're married. When asked if they're in love, he said like Butch and Sundance, which is like a famous like subtextually gay couple. And when someone asked if they were actually like married or dating, he said that their relationship transcends petty notions of dating and marriage. However, they are life partners.
So basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those basically yes, but the creator likes to be like really fluid with the canon and let people draw their own conclusions, so you're not going to get a definitive like verbal yes.
Pissy. I think it's just because Sarah Max is so old that it was like before being gay was like actually kind of socially acceptable, and
yeah,
it was like one of those things where it's like we must tiptoe around it. Funny.
Basically, you can see the wedding thing as just a throwaway joke in the recap, and it's probably at the time what it was intended to be. But you could also see it as legitimate because it actually is referenced again in the very last episode where they're walking past portraits of themselves, and one of the portraits is them at the altar at a different angle, which shows that it could actually be something they put some thought into.
Also, there's more references to them being like, I don't know, there's a lot of references to them being together.
There really is. Oh, yeah. Such as the fucking poker night being held in their honor. Or. Oh, by the way, in the whole poker night being held in their honor thing, basically there's a thing that you can unlock in Poker Night 2 where in Poker Night 2, which is a video game where you learn how to play poker with a bunch of cartoon characters, and one of those cartoon characters is Sam and Max, and one of the games is they're basically there to celebrate their 25th anniversary, which I think is supposed to be the 25th anniversary of their game, but the way all the characters talk about it, it definitely sounds like it's the anniversary of their relationship. Like that's how they talk about it in the game.
Also, technically, it would be their 26th anniversary.
Of the relationship or the game?
Well, because their very first adventure took place in a year before. People are gonna come, Hubris is gonna come. He's my sleep paralysis demon.
I have come.
Hi, I'm Hubris.
I want to have his love child.
No! No, but basically I think they're together. They're lifelong partners.
Basically, the 25th anniversary thing is supposed to be like the 25th anniversary of their game, but there's a whole conversation. There's a whole conversation in that round where they talk about how like Sam and Max were able to keep it together for that long and all that jazz, and like that's basically only something you ask a couple.
Yeah. I fucking love it.
Oh yeah, this just fucking sends me. In the same game, one of the characters asks Sam if he dates humans or other talking dogs, and he says, "Don't tell anyone, but I'm kind of off the market right now." As if they're not literally playing this fucking game in his relationship's honor. And also you could see him like very subtly gesture towards Max when he says that. I'll try to put like a screenshot on screen if I can like track it down. Yeah.
Monkey.
What the fuck are you looking at?
Monkey.
What the fuck is that? What? Send that to me right now. I need to put it in. What the hell? I'm so cursed.
Monkey. You're like going on this whole rant about something important.
It's not that important. I'm literally just repeating shit like I always do.
I know, and I just go monkey.
I thought you were gonna pull up a screenshot from that one scene where Sam asks this orangutan dressed as a woman something, but he has to like pretend like he's like from around here or some shit, and then Max is just really affectionate, like, "Aw, Sam, I didn't know you spoke bumpkin."
Oh my god, I fucking love that scene. I love that scene so fucking much. I don't think you understand how much I fucking love that fucking scene.
Oh my gosh, speaking of scenes I love, I was talking, right before we started filming this, I was talking to Ozzy about how I really fucking love that scene in the first episode where Max is just gushing over their car. So basically there's a character in the show called the Geek who's like a girl genius, and they go to visit her in the first episode, and their car just comes from the ceiling. The Max is like, look, Sam, she fixed our car. It's got headers and lighters, and he just looks so fucking cute. I'll show pictures. Just Max getting excited in the show is everything.
Ew, look at Geek's original design.
Ew, boys.
Icky fucking man.
Ew, cooties.
Ooh, cooties.
We're literally fucking boys.
We are, but still, we're allowed to.
We still have the boys have cooties cards. We're non-fucking binary. We can.
Oh, there's also a
say
reference
whatever.
to Sam and Max getting married in, what is it fucking called?
Oh yeah, Hit the Road.
Hit the Road.
Hit the Road is my favorite game. What's it called again?
Leave me alone. And he releases Valentine's Day art of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the fuck else you want me to say other than literally they're gay lovers. Anything else? You Lumpy. We're Lumpy. Why is there a whole fan page on Lumpy?
Also, if anyone wants to go in the comments and be like, actually they're not together, quit pushing gay shit in our faces, like, dude, you can click off the video any fucking time. We're just having fun. We're queer. We like cartoons. Just let us have our fun, dude. Hold on.
Lumpy is the VR game and it refers to as the player, and I think I love this.
Wait, we're Lumpy?
Yes.
I was wondering who the fuck Lumpy was this entire time.
Presumably.
I love that.
I mean, they do constantly tell you how fucking ugly you are.
Also, if you win the poker night in their 25th anniversary, Max will kiss the camera and go, "My hero," and Sam will be like, "Knock it off, Max. You didn't even like whatever gender that is." And that just gives me so much fucking euphoria.
No, I'm on the fucking fan wiki just reading about something to make sure I don't get anything wrong, and it's just, am I gay?
Wait, article because I haven't read one that just says, "Am I gay?"
Oh no! This is an ad.
Oh, it's a fucking ad.
I'm trying to look at all the toys from the
Toys.
We must collect the toys. That
No,
sounds like a typical Friday night for you.
No, it's prepare the toys, which is even fucking funnier.
We must prepare the toys. That sounds like a typical Friday night for you. Say, my little baby Pharaoh. I love her. I love Sam Mac. Her name is literally Sam Mac.
Sam Mac.
Like Sam and Max combined.
I fucking love that. Oh yeah, basically when Max's brain gets stolen, they need something to like occupy his creepy lifeless body, so they just stick a fucking little girl Pharaoh's head in there, Pharaoh's brain in there.
I love it. And she is God. Any questions? None. Good. I love how I'm just looking through this and it just immediately. Also, something I love, absolutely fucking adore, is that Max is considered one of Tumblr's sexy men or whatever the fuck it is.
Why? Literally fucking why?
I love that so much, and no one can tell me otherwise.
Of course you do, you fucking furry.
You know, you really burn my bumpers.
You really okay, Sam?
I meant to say you really boil my butter, but I think I
boil my
out.
butter.
I really think I stroked out my guy.
Oh yeah, Sam is like the one that like says like corny Sam is like the one that says like really like corny dad shit, basically. Like a running joke is like great leaping something inside of another something. This is happening. I told that really wrong. I'm just gonna ta-da, screenshot of an example.
What have you done? What have you done? What have you done to geek?
What is it?
You know the challenges where it's like, see how long until it gets sexualized?
No, she's 12.
She's a child.
No.
That's why I said, what have you done?
Oh no, I don't like it.
FBI, that's why I'm not showing you it. And now I'm back to just looking at cute little models of Sam and Max, because that's better than whatever the fuck
There it is.
There it is. Look at him with his big gun, big boy. Oh. Ugh. Do you think Max has a big gun because he doesn't have a big cock because he's a bunny and bunnies have small cocks? And also, do you think Sam doesn't know he's not because he's a dog?
Shut the fuck. Do I need to fucking bring up Sam's dick in hammer space again, or are you gonna behave yourself?
Bring it up, please.
Oh yeah, okay. Okay, hey, you guys are in for a treat because we have another fan theory. And this one...
And welcome to Game Theory!
This one is unlike the other one, this one is just complete fucking crack, but it's hilarious. So basically, Sam wears clothes, and so does like most of the characters in the game, including the animal characters, and Max doesn't wear anything, so Max is like canonically fucking naked. So he pulls stuff out of hammer space. He pulls stuff out of hammer space, but people also question where he's getting the items because people usually wear clothes and he doesn't. And there's a line where he's like, I'll write it down on a piece of paper and you can read it while you're sitting down, which very heavily implies that he just pulls things out of his ass. So then we talked about how
when Sam asks, he goes, that's none of your damn business.
Yeah, he gets like really fucking defensive when people ask him where he gets things. So basically we had a whole conversation about this and it just spiraled way out of fucking control. So now we have this crack theory that Max's ass has like two holes, kind of has two paths, kind of like a fucking this is gonna get really uncomfortably not safe for work, but if you are here to have a grand old cracky time, stay around to listen anyway. But basically, we think that Max's ass might have two pathways in the hole, if you will, like a throat, if you will, where one's for air and one's for food. So we think that sometimes when they're like doing the fucking nasty, do you think that Sam's dick just appears in random places in Hammer space?
Daffy
Duck's trying to get something from Hammer space, he just turns around and just Sam's fucking cock and he's like, what the fuck?
I'm literally gonna pee. I'm gonna pee. And the amount of my bowels evacuated. Both.
Wait, what was the other part of that theory? The other part of that theory was that sometimes, like, Hammer's face is confused for Sam's ass. Wait. That was told so wrong. No, Sam's ass has nothing to do with this, thankfully.
Stop. We need to just stop. This, I would like you to know, this is a crack theory. The first part of this video was genuinely a theory where, like, we figured out the timelines and where things fell into place. This is no longer theories. This is just Elliot being on drugs.
Yeah. I'm the one who came up with, like, 90% of that.
I came up with most of the canonical timeline theory. You came up with whatever the fuck.
I love how we just completely lulled our audience into like the worst false sense of security to like just reveal Sam's dick playing peekaboo with Hammer's face.
Why don't we go back to talking about the actual nice theory where
but
it
it's
all
really
up,
funny.
such as the animated series comes before all of the games.
No, the animated series comes after all of the games.
After all of the games.
In real life, the animated series comes before the games, but you know.
But we think like timeline wise it comes after. But fuck you. We
have nothing else to talk about there. That's why we started talking about our crack theories, because we ran out of that in the first theory.
We ran out of that. I would like to just formally apologize to everybody, like everybody, and I mean everybody, in every single way, for whatever the hell you just watched, heard, listened to, and I like how everybody canonically agrees that, like, Max would just be, like, a small person. Tiny little hands.
Also, Max is like, they're actually kind of drawn a little bit to scale in terms of like a dog and a rabbit. So Sam is 6 feet tall and Max is only 3 feet tall.
Okay. Whoever fucking thought it was a good idea to make human fucking fursuits of Sam and Max, I do not approve. What is this?
Isn't that your jam? Aren't you a furry?
No! This is not my jam. This is like someone put butter and salt together.
As he revokes his furryhood.
Canonically...
Wait, actually, I actually don't really want to put that on screen to make fun of that, because people, those are like...
No, we're not showing it.
Those are like real... Oh, okay, cool. Because those are like real cosplayers that like put effort into their costume. Yeah.
No, just because it's not my forte does not mean it's good.
Exactly.
It's very good. Like, the attention to detail they have here and everything.
Right.
Like, it's beautiful. Personally, I wouldn't like it, but they do, and there's nothing wrong with that.
People can have cosplay preferences, but you still have to appreciate the thought and effort that went into
because that's
costumes.
A lot of effort.
Yeah.
Fursuits are hard to make.
Yeah. They really fucking are.
I want little paws.
Alright, anyway, I think it's time to wrap this the fuck up. If you want to check out our other socials, we don't have many and they're mostly mine, but you could check them out anyway. It would actually help me a lot and I would very much appreciate it. So just go on down into the description and see our links there.
I don't have social medias because I don't exist online.
Enough said. See you guys.
Oh, bye!